Good evening. Um, Came down and worked on the grow room a bit more after I got the kids in bed tonight. Samantha's, I think, working on some more of her oil stuff. It's got some big sales going on right now, so I know she's hard at that. But just wanted to give you an update. Ran into a couple more snags and found some solutions. So, alright, let's start off here. Seed starter for the hydroponics. I've got the grow light there mounted. I've got some eye screws up there. I transferred those over. That's what they were hanging on before, but now they're just moved over here. So that's set up. Height adjusted. Need to clean this out. There's some old water and crud in there, so need to get that cleaned out. But that can be up and running here shortly. Okay, this shelf. So as you can see, it's up. So I did take it out to the garage and I cut I don't know, 1.5 inches or something off the top here of each of the posts. So that took care of that problem. They fit under there now. So I got that solved and I got the shelves in place. That caused another problem. So originally thought was leave the hydroponics over in the corner. This new rack was going to be microgreens. So 10-20 trays, of course 18-inch shelf, so they stick out a little bit. Okay, here comes the problem. Now I'm gonna pan down here. If we want to put eventually another shelf, and I've got one of the shelf pieces laying there just as an illustration, so I can move these trays down here. So, problem. Trays intersect the shelf. Well, move the shelf over, right? Problem. When we go back up, I know I talked about this in an earlier video, we need to be able to put the posts of the other shelf unit right up in the gap behind this track light in order for that shelf to fit in here. So where does that land? Of course, right in our tray. So either no shelf in the future, which that's a huge production thing. Could eliminate right now I can fit 4 trays across the shelf. Well, I could eliminate 1 tray off of each shelf all the way up. Well, again, production. If I'm trying to get a lot rolled out of here in a small space, I need that space. Solution. So here's what I came up with. The hydroponics. So I use these same size totes as what the onions are planted in. They don't stick out past the end of the shelf. And actually there's room on the back side of them too, so I could push them back a bit. So move the hydroponics to the new shelf. Still right next to the seed starter, so that's in close proximity. So then I got to thinking, how am I going to hang the top light? So do I put a shelf up here? Well, I can't store anything up there like I do on the other one. So what I came up with is I cut some boards. Try to do this here, camera operator and demonstration. So I'm gonna put screw a board up there and put some eye screws in that. Then I can hang my lights off of that. Save me a shelf, which is the one I have laying on the floor right now. Then I'm going to take, and once I strip this shelf, this will become a microgreen shelf. And I will have a shelf on this top where I can still stick some storage up top in between the floor joists like I do right now. And I can have another shelf. So by the time I get done, instead of having 3 shelves, I'll have 4. So what I'm thinking to start with is 2 shelves with lights for grow out. That'll give me 8 trays of grow out, and 2 shelves with covered for starting. So I can virtually have 16 trays in production at a time. So we'll see how that goes, but this is what I'm gonna do for now. A lot of work ahead of me. Move all this stuff over to there, all the lights, everything move, and then change over the setup of this one. So I think I'm calling it a night. I've made progress. I know what my next steps are. I'm thinking about those onions. Possibly just moving them down here on the floor where the shelf is, and hanging a couple of lights above them, and just leave them down there for now. That way I can have the full hydroponics rack in operation and full microgreens in operation, and still have the onions. So that might be my in between until I get another shelf. So there you go. That's what's going on. Catch you later.